the leader of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Alhaji Maulvi Mohammed bin Sali, who is calling for the dissolution of all political youth wings in the country's educational institutions as a measure of fighting indiscipline in the country. He says that such groups are most often the breeding place for political indiscipline in the country. And he made mention of groupings like the Azoka Boys of the NDC and the Bamba Boys of the NPP. Let me quickly gather your opinion on that.
Well, I think I have to somehow side with him, unless maybe those groupings will not be allowed to comment on politics, because it seems those young guys in our tertiary institution are not coming to politics, and something comes, oh, this is freedom of expression, democracy, so they attack elderly people. They are usually, they don't. The truth is, okay. I don't know how to say it in English, but they don't respect
the elderly.
The elderly.
Totally, they are disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
You see? So to me, yes, they can form political groupings, but they should not be allowed to. Not allowed, but they should not be allowed to make political statements. But at least they can gather themselves and amuse themselves on campus and all this. But they shouldn't be giving out political statements here and there, because in fact a lot of disrespect, they disrespect a lot of people in society, and they don't understand. I would say they have some shortcomings in understanding political activity. Achampong is here, he's MPP, I'm NDC. After here, we respect, we do everything. He's my very good friend. Opariamont, we grew up together, he's MPP.
Viewers, you're listening.
So people think, once you have a political opportunity, you have to go and insult your opponent, and this is what happens in the TESCON and the TAIN and all those things. So also the Azoka Boys, the Bamba Boys, and the Action Troopers, and all those things. In fact, those ones, to me, political parties should not encourage those things, because it brews machoism, and then it tells people that, okay, those who have some serious psychological challenges would like to join this group for people to see that they are tough, and most of them to try to smoke and wear some dress for them to see that they are tough and all those things. I think those things must be wiped out of our political life, so that we see politics as a very civil and decent game. That in politics, you're only trying to develop your country with your different ideas, not fighting, not insult here and there, but just an election.
But for me, isn't it a way of grooming the young ones to become responsible politicians as they grow up? But so shouldn't the call be the fact that, okay, let's regulate their activities, let's streamline their activities so that they don't do things haphazardly, they don't disrespect the elderly said?
No, I think they should do it like civil society organizations, like the NDC and the NPP should form their youth like civil society organization that will be coming out with good ideas without any vituperations and insults and all those things. But they should come out, so that when any of our members come out with something, go wayward, we should be able to condemn him and let him apologize in public.
Said briefly your comments on this.
No, I think I agree in part with the comments by Maulvi bin Sali. I agree. Reasons are that we need to show respect to the elderly. He was coming from the backdrop of our cultural existence, and we as Ghanaians, wherever I've traveled to in this country, the youth respect the adults. I don't think we should use politics or political activism as a medium to disrespect society, because we all grew one day, and I'm sure we the youth may not be happy when we are disrespected against in our adulthood. Similarly, we just all need to add our voices to such misbehavior by our would-be sympathizers. Sympathizers here because it is the right of every individual in this country to belong to a particular association. And so if you are in my association, I expect you to play by the rules. I expect you to respect what we have set for ourselves to guide us going forward. Because if we do not comply, or we did not allow ourselves to be guided by such principles, then we are a bit, my language maybe, we are a bit wayward. And I don't think we should encourage that. We are putting up a country where we believe that institutions need to be respected. And so if the institutions are not just, quote unquote, any buildings, but institutions are manned by human beings. And so we should also inculcate into the young ones coming up the level of discipline that some of us got, so that they should also be prepared to learn from us. At least we should measure some receptiveness, that yes, they are receiving what we are offering them, and they are imbibing into it, and they are helping themselves. We equally have some checks to do. I'm sure that is the faith-based institutions. This is a call coming from the faith-based institutions, because that's a religious institution.
Yeah.
And equally, I expect all of us in all our lives endeavors, wherever we find ourselves, if people do things and it is wrong, let us say it as it is. Let us measure our language. Even as we sit, and like my colleague rightly said, yes, we may use certain strong language in critique, but they shouldn't be foul language.
Well, I think that maybe these young ones are also learning from some of the older ones who, you know, are not considerate at all when it comes to using those loud words. And so maybe when the senior ones start moderating their words and start controlling it, then the younger ones will also learn from that. You're not allowed to comment because we've run out of time, and I want to thank you two gentlemen for making it a point. It's been very interesting having you, Nyamasana Mwale and Seth Kwame Champo. Thank you so much for coming, and that's where we draw the curtains for the AM Talk. And coming up next is my banner with Kwabena Chenchen Boateng.